Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport, a pure driving machine, fast in corners, ferocious on country roads. That's the new Chiron Pur Sport. Flat front end, dynamic design, and impressive rear spoiler. It's clear from the outset that the new Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport yearns for corners and challenging country roads. Pure and unadulterated, a genuine thoroughbred. Bugatti has been producing sports cars homologated for public roads for over 110 years. In the past, vehicles such as the Type 13 and Type 35 have claimed countless victories in international hill climbs and road races. The Chiron Pur Sport is no exception to the long-standing tradition. The new model is an uncompromising hypersports car for exactly those winding roads. A new aerodynamic configuration generates more downforce while the lower weight increases agility. Even traveling at average speeds will stimulate all the senses thanks to a closed ratio transmission, high performance tyres with a new material mix geared towards extreme grip as well as agile chassis and suspension setup. By contrast, with the Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus, the record-breaking car that exceeded the threshold of 300 miles per hour for the first time, the Chiron Pur Sport focuses on extraordinarily tangible performance throughout the entire range of speeds. We spoke to customers and realized they wanted a vehicle that is geared even more towards agility and dynamic cornering, a hypersports car that yearns for country roads with as many bends as possible, an unadulterated, uncompromising driving machine. Consequently, the vehicle is called Chiron Pur Sport, explains Stephen Winkleman, president of Bugatti. By cutting the weight by 50 kilograms while simultaneously boosting the downforce and configuring an uncompromising sporty chassis as well as suspension setup, the Chiron Pur Sport boasts incredible grip, sensational acceleration, extraordinarily accurate handling. It's the most uncompromising yet agile Bugatti of recent times. Extraordinary design. The Chiron Pur Sport's concept has been geared towards agility in every sense of the word. The design development department's focus was to lend the Pur Sport a confident appearance. As a result, the front end is dominated by intentionally dynamic expression, very wide air inlets, and an enlarged horseshoe panel at the bottom serve as perfect radiator air outlets. The vehicle's striking splitter generates maximum downforce by protruding considerably at the front while also making the vehicle seem wider. Primary lines run across the air outlets on the front wing like tendons on a muscle, radiating the design image of a well-honed athlete. A new optional split paintwork design has been developed for the Chiron Pur Sport. The entire bottom third of the vehicle features exposed carbon fiber to make the vehicle seem even lower. From the sides, these dark surfaces merge with the color of the road surface and make the Pur Sport appear even flatter. The rear of the Pur Sport carries the vehicle's rear spoiler spanning 1.9 meters to generate serious amounts of downforce, and the striking diffuser also significantly boosts the vehicle's aerodynamics. In this process, angled wing mounts form a large X in conjunction with the rear apron, a feature that is inspired by elements of science fiction and motorsport. The design is rounded off by the extremely lightweight and highly temperature-resistant exhaust tailpipe made of 3D printed titanium. This production method gives the components very thin walls, thus helping to save weight where it really matters. The vehicle interior is deliberately sporty and raw and has been reduced to the absolute minimum. Large surfaces have been upholstered with Alcantara to save weight. Dynamic patterns have been lasered into the Alcantara door trim panels, featuring contrasting fabric highlights with a metal look. Alcantara guarantees an ideal grip on the steering wheel and improves the side support on seats. Even at extreme lateral acceleration levels, all trim and controls are made exclusively of either black, anodized aluminium, or titanium. Contrasting cross-stitching adds color highlights, as do the steering wheel's 12 o'clock spoke and the blue center spine. Sophisticated aerodynamics and exhaust system, a large diffuser, and fixed rear spoiler generate plenty of downforce at the back end, while also helping to boost agility. At the same time, doing away with the hydraulic component of the otherwise automatically extending spoiler reduces the weight by 10 kilograms. Rear wing mounts and diffuser form an aggressive and sporty X-shaped design. We focused particularly on the agility of the Chiron Pur Sport. The vehicle generates downforce at the rear axle, while the large front splitter, air inlets, wheel arch vents, featuring optimized air outlets and a reduced vehicle height, strike a clear balance at the front. Frank Hale, head of exterior design and deputy head designer at Bugatti, explains. New wheel design. Frank Hill and the technical development department teamed up to devise a magnesium wheel design featuring optimal Aero blades for the Pur Sport. Arranged in a ring, the blades guarantee ideal wheel ventilation while also boosting aerodynamics. While the vehicle is in motion, the rings fitted to the rim extract air outwards from the wheel, where it is immediately drawn towards the rear. This intervention prevents adverse turbulence in the wheel area and also improves the flow across the side of the vehicle. A special cover on each of the 5 wheel nuts minimizes turbulence and adds a final visual touch to the wheel's design. Cutting the weight by a total of 16 kilograms results in a lower, unladen weight and also reduces the unsprung masses of the already ultralight Bugatti wheels. All of the modifications make the Pur Sport's handling more accurate, direct, and predictable. Lower unsprung masses result in improved grip because the wheel maintains contact with the road surfaces more easily. Anyone behind the wheel will immediately feel its lightweight character through bends. Jason Schwalbe, head of Bugatti chassis development, adds, an accomplished interpretation of form follows performance. New tyre development. Bugatti and Michelin developed the new and exclusive Bugatti Sport Cup 2R tyre in 285 by 30 R20 dimensions at the front and 355-25 R21 at the rear to match the new Aero wheel design, thanks to a modified tyre structure and a rubber mix that creates more grip. This combination boasts the vehicle's lateral acceleration by 10% to additionally increase its cornering speed. Uncompromising chassis and suspension setup. Bugatti specifically configured the chassis and suspension to be uncompromising on winding roads, without any detrimental effect on comfort. A new chassis setup featuring 65% firmer springs at the front, 33% firmer springs at the rear, an adaptive dampening control strategy geared towards performance, as well as modified camber values, minus 2.5 degrees, guaranteed even more dynamic handling and an added agility in bends. Carbon fiber stabilizers at the front and rear additionally minimize roll. This setup makes the Chiron Pur Sport steer more directly and accurately through bends and maintains the grip levels for a very long time, even at high speeds. In conjunction with 19 kilograms of weight reduction of the unsprung masses, the Pur Sport almost glides across roads. Jassim Shellaby explains, in addition to the wheels, weight reduction totaling 16 kilograms. Titanium brake pad base panels cut the vehicle's weight by a further 2 kilograms, while brake discs strike yet another kilogram off the total weight. These 19 kilograms fully contribute towards the performance. Less weight results in more grip and tangibly more comfort, as adaptive dampers are forced to deal with lower masses to thus be able to maintain the wheels contact with the road surface more easily. Engineers have guaranteed more direct contact with the road surface by making the connection between chassis, suspension, and body 130% firmer at the front and 77% firmer at the rear. Apart from the 4 familiar EB, motorway, handling, and sport drive modes, the Chiron Pur Sport features the new Sport Plus Drive mode to make this enhanced performance more emotionally tangible. In contrast to Sport mode, the traction control system kicks into action on dry racetracks at a significantly later point in the new mode, aimed at more skilled cornering experts, making it possible for drivers to change their personal driving style even more than before, from a razor-sharp ideal lines to drifts, also through fast corners. New transmission development. A new transmission featuring an overall gear ratio that has been configured 15% closer together guarantees even more dynamic handling and further improves the power distribution of the 8-litre W16 engine, generating 1500 horsepower and 1600 newton meters of torque. The vehicle now unleashes its full power at 350 km per hour. We were forced to reduce the speed as a result of the vastly increased downforce generated by the new rear spoiler. Schwalbe explains 80% of the transmission has been revised, while the entire gear set includes 4 shafts and 7 forward gears has been adapted to the new conditions. We reconfigured each gear and calibrated new ratios despite the iconic engine boasting an abundance of power. The gears are closer together now to enable shorter gear jumps and also benefit performance. Most of all, when coming out of corners, the Chiron Pur Sport accelerates even more aggressively in conjunction with the added grip, as well as more direct chassis and suspension. Gregor agrees, says, as the head of the major assemblies at Bugatti. At the same time, Bugatti has increased the maximum engine speed of the W16 unit by 200 rpm to 6,900 rpm. In conjunction with the closer overall gear ratio, this creates significantly better elasticity. As a result, the Chiron Pur Sport accelerates from 60 to 120 km per hour, almost 2 seconds faster than the already lightning fast Chiron. All in all, the elasticity values are 40% better compared with the Chiron. Production of the Chiron Pur Sport will start in the second half of 2020. Limited to 60 units at €3 million excluding VAT. With the Chiron Pur Sport, we are showcasing an outstanding vehicle that makes your heart race shortly after having started the engine, to push the limits of driving physics even further. This means we have come full circle, back to the good old Bugatti tradition, Stephen Winkleman adds confidently. The Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport is designed for corners, engineered for lateral acceleration and incomparable driving dynamics. As production reaches the halfway point, with the 30th unit recently being delivered to its new owner, Bugatti celebrates the spectrum of performance of the Chiron family that characterizes the Pur Sport as its most agile member. The track is set, the air is still. Overnight precipitation means the tarmac is slick, glistening in the early morning sunshine. The Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport lies in wait, just off center of the track, ready to execute a perfectly controlled and precise maneuver, possible only because of the Pur Sport's combination of performance and poise. An advanced 4-wheel drive system is ready to channel the full fury of the 1500 horsepower and 1600 newton meters of torque delivered by one of the most innovative powertrains ever created, the 8-litre W16. The challenge for the Chiron Pur Sport and its expert driver, a lead Bugatti development and chassis engineer, is to launch into a controlled 4-wheel drive drift, tracing a perfect arc that would form the famous Bugatti C-line when viewed from above. For decades, this recognizable design feature has come to define the elegance of Bugatti styling, visible both on Veyron and Chiron, as well as John Bugatti's creations. The signature C-line, which seamlessly elongates the car from a side profile visual while simultaneously imbuing it with a flow that gives the impression of movement, even while at rest, has been used to great effect in the design from his earliest creation, the Type 50, through to the famous Type 57 series. With the W16 engine fired into life, the Pur Sport launches off the line, all 4 tyres smoking as it gathers momentum. Shifting rapidly through the gearbox, its driver turns the wheel and delicately eases the Pur Sport into a drift with a press of the throttle. As he countersteers into the turn, tyres smoke, bellowing out of the all 4-wheel arches. The character of the Chiron Pur Sport is obvious, precise, controlled, and powerful. With minute inputs to both the steering wheel and the throttle, the the driver completes his drift with perfection, leaving the Bugatti C-line written in a large letter on the tarmac. What we celebrate here with this showcase is the unrivaled handling of the Chiron Pur Sport, one of the most agile automobiles ever created. Within our product portfolio is both composed and precise, allowing it to complete a controlled four-wheel drift. It did it time and time again, from its very first attempt through to the final drive during dusk. The Chiron Pur Sport delivered, repeating the feat even as the tyres were pushed to the extremes and the hypersports car was put under the increasing stress of high temperatures and huge lateral loads, outlined Christophe Picon, president of Bugatti Automobiles. The Pur Sport has become a firm favourite with customers because of its focused performance and pure driving characteristics. It was only right that the Pur Sport was the selected Chiron model to honour our iconic signature line with this ambitious sea drift, added Picon. Each model in the Chiron family has been carefully honed and optimised to offer exceptional dynamics across the driving spectrum. With a 1500 horsepower W16 engine and an advanced four-wheel drive system, the Pur Sport feels most at home on tight and twisting roads. Like all Chiron models, the Pur Sport proudly features the famous Bugatti C-line that has come to define the profile of each Bugatti. In part a major design ideation, the sideline C is also employed to enhance performance parameters, having been born out of necessity to increase ventilation in Bugatti's 16-cylinder models. At window level, clean airflow reaches the Pur Sport from behind the A-pillar. The C-line receives the air, which is then channeled through the wheel arch and pumped out the rear of the car. The sideline is realised by using a 2.8 metre trim strip composed from a unique aluminium alloy. The Chiron Pur Sport channels stellar performance throughout the entire speed range. Its weight has been reduced by 50 kilos, while its downforce capacity has been substantially boosted, realising a sports-focused character and optimal suspension setup. Sven Bornhorst, Bugatti's experienced development driver who drifted the C, recalls the controllability of the Chiron Pur Sport's all-wheel drive is outstanding. You, the driver, decide if you want to slip the rear axle to make the car turn, or if you want to stabilize it with more slip at the front solely by balancing it with the throttle. You can also have all four wheels spinning at once, just as you like it. This is what I call a car made for drivers. The Pur Sport's 7-speed dual-clutch transmission has undergone a radical transformation. Bugatti engineers optimized numerous components and the gears were shortened overall by 15%. The Chiron Pur Sport benefits from a chassis that has 65% firmer springs at the front and 33% firmer springs at the rear. It also has an adaptive dampening control strategy geared towards performance, as well as a heavily modified camber values, front of 115%, rear 150%, adjusted to -2.5 degrees. To guarantee even more dynamic handling, increased performance, and added agility in bends. In addition of Bugatti's form follows performance ethos, the Chiron Pur Sport grips the road in part due to its lower, unsprung mass, as well as lightweight magnesium wheels that combined save 16 kilograms, further strengthening the three-way connection between driver, machine, and road. In a straight line, the Chiron Pur Sport remains blisteringly quick, accelerates from 0 to 100 km per hour in 2.3 seconds, and from 0 to 200 km per hour in 5.9 seconds. Moreover, the shorter gear ratios allow it to launch from 60 to 120 km per hour in 6th gear in just 4.4 seconds. With these cutting-edge characteristics that encompass power, agility, lateral dynamics, and pure performance, the Pur Sport is a Chiron model designed and developed to handle the most extreme situations with total precision, finesse, and ease.